Paltrocast.
Damien, how is your day going aside from, interview after interview after interview, same questions, etc.?
No, it's great, man. I'm having a good time. I'm honored to be here. It's good to see you.
Likewise. And would you believe that a year later you'd still be doing press on Terrifier 2?
No, not at all, actually. Or nor did I think it would be going back to the theaters. So this franchise has been full of surprises, to say the least. So it's the
Right.
gift that keeps on giving.
Right. And if the rumors are true, Terrifier 3 in the works. And of course, longtime fans know that the character originated in the Ninth Circle. So it's been, 15 years or so of Art the Clown.
Yeah, long time, long time. A lot of people, especially like aspiring filmmakers or something, that if I meet them at a convention, it seems it seems like overnight success, and then I tell them, no, 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 like this started a long time ago. This has been like a really long journey with Art the Clown, and I've been following this character like my North Star or something. I just knew that there was something there, and something would hit with him eventually. I really did feel that in my soul. So I'm glad I persisted. I didn't really have a choice. It was just instinctual that I just had to keep following this character. But I'm really glad that I did. It did pay off eventually, and he's done a lot apparently for the horror community. There's a lot of happy people, which makes me feel amazing. David Howard Thorne and I, we do a lot of conventions, and we get to meet a lot of fans, and it's been beautiful. It's like changed people's lives. I mean, we have people. We just did a photo op, right? I put David in costume as Art the Clown, and people come to take pictures with him in makeup. I had a guy literally just propose to his fiance in that moment in the photo op with Art the Clown. you know, People just crying at the table, telling us how much the character means to them. That the Sienna character, how they relate to her because she's so vulnerable, and they can relate to her afflictions and things. So it's been beautiful. It's been more than just a killer clown movie, man. It's really taken on a life of its own. It's like starting to transcend just being this little slasher movie.
The average movie, the sequel kind of cheapens it, or the sequel is seen as being the sellout thing. Yet Terrifier, in your case, if there was a Terrifier 9, I don't think that people would be upset about it. When did you kind of realize, oh, this is a universe and not just a one-off?
Well, I guess while I was writing two, because I knew I was gonna at the end of one, I knew I was always gonna make more movies, at least a few more with this character. I love him too much. That's why I really had to put that sort of cliffhanger ending in there when he wakes up in the morgue, just to let the audience know there will be more. I don't know when, but I'm gonna bring this character back somehow, somewhere. But once I started writing two, and I decided to really embrace the supernatural element. I mean, that opens up the possibilities, endless possibilities, right? Because you're bringing in dark dimensions here where you can basically do whatever your imagination desires. So I like expanding the world. I think when you don't focus too much on Art, where you just get tired of him, and you can bring these other little elements in to just kind of like step away for a little bit, but then of course Art's the focal point. He's
Mhm.
always going to be the focal point. But it keeps him fresh, and it allows you a whole playground of other characters to explore and get invested in, and it's fun. It's fun to have this ever expanding sort of sandbox to be in.
So is October now peak season for you? The reason I say that, for example, we know Elvira is coming when October hits. There's certain people you see endlessly in October, and then they maybe go away because Christmas is a different kind of vibe.
Right, right, right. I don't. I think. Well, I think you could put Art into any sort of setting, so so to speak. I mean, I'm going to send him to Vegas. I'm gonna send him to space, the Wild West, at some point. No, kidding.
That's not such a
I'm
bad
kidding.
idea. I mean, Ernest went to all those places.
right? He has, right? I mean, take from the best, right? If good enough for Ernest, geez. I grew up with those movies, man. Who knows? I mean, listen, there are people who they're like, please don't stop making these movies. Make Terrifier 20. We'll be there for you. And I love that. And I feel like no matter what I want to do personally as an artist, I'm sure at this point there will be a Terrifier 20. There will probably be 20 reboots down the line. Who knows what's going to happen? I just know that for myself as an artist, I need to make my solid Terrifier franchise. And I already know where this story ends. I just don't know, does it end at part 3? Does it end at part 4? But I know where it ends. So that's comforting there, because I think a solid end to your franchise is crucial. And it's something that a lot of these franchises do not have, because they're in the studio system and they're in that machine, and it's really not about a solid ending. It's just about money. And I understand that. These characters are so they're so profitable, and it's just all about the iconic killer. I get it, and people want to just see them over and over and over, just wiping out a new group of people. So it's sort of a bit of a catch-22. But I really do want to. I want to have a solid conclusion for my characters, both my protagonists and my villain. Now that doesn't mean satisfying where my protagonist is safe. You know what I mean? It just means like it has to do the right thing by the story overall. Yeah.
Well, two quick questions. And the first one, and this is a compliment, despite how it sounds like, one of the ways you could tell how great a horror franchise is the merchandising that comes from it. Now, are we allowed to know what's coming in the future? Will we start seeing Art the Clown Halloween costumes that are licensed, that kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean those already exist. You could already get like Trick or Treat Studios they just made a little pale girl costume. I think they have plans to make a Sienna costume. They have the Art the Clown costume, of course. There's a few things coming out. One in particular that has been in demand for years now, and it's such an honor to get this. And I can't say what it is, but it's coming. It's coming, and I'm excited for that. There's going to be I think I'm allowed to say this. I think there's going to be a life-size like animatronic Art Town that you'll see in I'm pretty sure I can say you'll see in Party City eventually, probably next Halloween. But there's so much cool stuff. I mean, there's so much unlicensed stuff.
Right.
There's more elite merch than there is licensed merch. On one hand, it's such an honor. It's always an honor because people love you. And, it means your franchises or your IP is popular and people love it. It's in demand. On the other end, it's it's money being taken out of your pocket, and it's also hurting the people who are really going through the trouble of doing it legally. So it's tricky, but just to be in this situation is just, we're very grateful. It's an honor. So, but there is a lot of wonderful merchandise out there right now, licensed merchandise.
Good to hear. And the last question, one of your biggest proponents in making the Terrifier franchise mainstream was Chris Jericho, who may or may not have been in the last movie. We don't want to say what his fate was in the movie, but any chance we might see Jericho in future Terrifier movies?
I would say there's a great chance to see Jericho because you see how the movie had this cliffhanger, right? The mid-credit sequence, Terrifier 2, where Victoria gives birth to Art's head in the insane asylum, which is so insane. And people are asking me all the time, like, where the hell do you go from there? Like, what's going on? So there certainly isn't going to be a cop out. I mean, I'm going to show you exactly what happens from that moment on. And Jericho's still there watching horror movies, eating that zombie platter. So there's a good chance he's gonna make another appearance in the next installment.
Is that merchandise product that we can't know about yet a zombie platter?
No, but that's well, that's inevitable. That's got to come down the line at some point. we're gonna explore food and the cereal, Art Krispies.
Oh, that would be fantastic. But in the meantime, hey, congrats on the re-release into theaters. Congrats in advance on the next sequel, and really looking forward to what's to come from you and team. It's a real life little engine that could in the best of ways.
Oh, thank you, man. That means a lot. I appreciate it, man. And thank you for the support. And have a happy Halloween, dude.
Paltrocast.